Hey everyone, so today we're talking about a pretty wild incident that recently went down involving some folks impersonating firefighters. Yeah, it sounds crazy, right? Like you'd think something like that only happens in movies.
But it's real, and it highlights some important stuff about recognizing authority and following emergency protocols. So, let's dive into it.
So, picture this. Two individuals roll up to a restricted checkpoint in a vehicle that looks like a fire engine. I mean, how bold can you get? They tried to gain access, and thankfully, law enforcement was on the scene.
Sheriff's deputies stopped them, questioned them, and it turned out, these people had actually purchased the vehicle at an auction. But still, the whole thing raises so many red flags.
Now, let's talk about what they actually had in their possession. The deputies found firefighter radios and turnout gear. What were they planning to do with that? This kind of impersonation isn't just a prank. It puts public safety at risk. I mean, can you imagine someone showing up in an emergency thinking they're legitimate when they're not? It's terrifying, honestly. And there are legal consequences for this kind of behavior, too.
It's not just about being silly. It's a serious crime. Now, about the individuals involved. They're described as a male and a female. And interestingly, they didn't have any criminal history in California.
But here's the kicker. The male had a history of mischief and even arson back in Oregon. Talk about a red flag, right? It makes you wonder how someone like that can just decide to impersonate emergency personnel.
What were they thinking? It's a lot to process. After the incident, they were booked at the Malibu Lost Hills station, and the case was referred to the district attorney's office.
Potential charges are still being considered, and honestly, I hope they face serious consequences for their actions. It's crucial that we send a message that this kind of behavior won't be tolerated.
So, reflecting on all this, it really emphasizes the need for vigilance in our communities. We can't just sit back and assume everything is fine. If you see something suspicious, you've got to report it. We really need to respect emergency services and their protocols because they're there to keep us safe.
It's easy to get caught up in our daily lives and forget about these things, but incidents like this remind us just how important it is to stay aware. It makes me think about my own behavior and how I interact with authority figures.
Sometimes we take for granted that people in uniforms are who they say they are, and that can be a dangerous mindset. But let's try to find something positive here.
It's a little thing, but maybe this incident will spark conversations in our communities about safety and awareness. Maybe it'll encourage people to be more proactive in looking out for each other, and for that, I'm grateful.
So, if you found this video interesting or eye-opening, please like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts. Have you ever encountered something similar? What would you do in that situation? Let's keep the conversation going.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember to stay safe out there.